After God's gift, I dedicated the whole year to not cuss in my records and talk about God because of my grandmother. Was a big believer in God. She always said, your music would be so much better if you didn't cuss. So I dedicated that whole year. Thing is, I love making songs like that, right? And the more I wrote songs like that, the closer I felt to God. It started to like manifest into things in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Like how the sadness manifests in this. This was like drawing me closer to God, bringing me friendships that were God-fearing men. You know, it got to a point where it's like, dang, everything good in my life happens with prayer, happens when I talk to him. And now I live my life like, you know, someone's always watching me, which is a good way to live, you know, because it's like you don't do dumb things.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Journey to Solutions podcast, where we interview people from all walks of life who've overcome the impossible. We shine light on one simple truth: no matter your past, no matter your pain, with the power of God, anything is possible. And today we're blessed with a good friend of mine who is, in my eyes, one of the best hip hop artists that I know. He has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, over 1 million followers on Facebook, about 400 plus thousand on TikTok, 150 plus thousand on Instagram. This guy's just crushing it, and he is a person of God. He is a person about the people. I've got to see him behind the scenes, and it's really cool when you admire someone from afar, right, that we view as famous, yet they still stay humble and treat their people right, and that's why he has such a big following and a lot of support, because he loves on his people. And so I want to introduce Gremlin.
Here, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you in this setting.
Yeah, I appreciate you being here, man.
Absolutely, bro. Thank you for that beautiful introduction, man.
Yeah, it's true, and that's something I kind of want to highlight on. I think a lot of people that want to become famous, let's just say, right, however they go about it, sometimes it gets to their head.
Yeah.
Sometimes you maybe meet someone that you admire and they're a dick.
Yeah.
They're an asshole.
Yeah.
What do you think it is for you that you've been able to kind of maintain, like, I want to make sure it's about the people?
Dude, I think I have a really good foundation from my grandparents of church and things like that. And I think I'm just me, like they just really gave me a solid foundation to build off of it. I'm like, I can't imagine being any other way. I'm just a fun-loving guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love people, and and I love what I do.
Yeah. So do you think when people are quote unquote assholes, I'm sure it's not for everybody that they're part of their story, but do you think sometimes it's already kind of who they were in a sense, maybe, and it kind of just like magnifies it?
I would imagine so. I mean, there's no other reason to be like that, I mean, if they get cocky, because they have money now or fame, I would assume that's always there, even when they're broke. I'm sure that it's there as well, and I definitely met some assholes too, bro. Like artists, I'm like, bro, you're such a weirdo, dude. Like, why are you acting like that? Like, chill. You know what I'm saying, bro? So, yeah, I hate seeing that.
Yeah. How do you kind of protect yourself from not letting the fame get to you, though? What, even if it's not changing your character, but just, hey, you got some money coming in now. You got a lot of freedom. A lot of people are like, Gremlin's amazing. Gremlin this, Gremlin that. Like, how do you kind of protect yourself so you don't get distracted by all the shiny stuff and that you still stay focused on like your craft?
Oh, I do get distracted. I just, what I'm saying? Like, I do have a nice car and a nice crib, but I mean, I don't really care for flashy things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I you know me, dude. Like, I'll wear a black t-shirt all day, and black pants, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about that. So I don't care about material things. That's just never been in my character, although to a fault, because mind you, sometimes I do dress and very bad, especially growing up. They're like, dude, like, put some effort. And I'm like, I don't care. And I still don't care, but I'm like, I know I have to keep up, with stuff, but I'm getting better at it.
Yeah. Is it, what was it like, what was it like going from like being just Mark to then, now you're Gremlin? Like, you can literally say like you had a dream to be an artist, And I mean, technically, in my eyes, you have made it. Now, I
Mm.
know there's no ceiling to it. You can keep on
Yeah.
growing. But like, what was that like for you to kind of like see that you're able to have this vision that probably 99% of people don't get to? They have it, but they don't. Let's just be real, right?
Yeah.
People don't realize like the percentage of you making it in music is
Yeah.
probably very low. Like, what was that like for you to see that you're able to actually manifest and create that?
Man, it took a lot of inner work to be able to finally manifest it. Um, but when it started happening, I'm like, oh damn, this is actually possible. You know what I'm saying? But lucky for me, I had a mentor who just gave me the right way to think and the right way to view things, and and to dream huge.
And what was that way to think? What was he teaching you?
Um, like manifest, meditation, visualizing things, act like you have it already,
Mhm.
and I can't pinpoint exact things, but it was along those lines, and the way you like talk to people, the way you view money, all kinds of things, because some people don't make a lot of money because they think they're not enough, right?
Mhm.
So there's also that battle, that I was dealing with. But then when it started coming in, I got rid of that belief, before it started coming in. I was like, I am enough.
Mhm.
So just a lot of ceilings I was breaking through. And I still got a long way to go, for sure.
Mhm.
But I am comfortable where I'm at now, but definitely gonna take us to a whole nother level. Have to.
Yeah, I mean, I talk to artists who are, trying to make it, and their dream when they start, right, is I just can't wait till the day that I can just live off money, like making music.
Yeah,
Where I don't have to work at Rouse, I don't have to work at the movie theater, I don't have to work this plumbing job.
yeah,
You're at a place where you can say, right, you genuinely like, hey, your money is what pays your rent, is what
yeah.
pays these things, which is super cool.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What do you think people what do you think people fail at when they're going after music and their story is I didn't make it and they're talented? Keep in mind too,
And they're
and they're
talented.
talented.
And why they didn't make it?
Yeah, like, what do you think gets in the way?
Well, hard work beats talent 100% of the time, right? Um, I'm not the most talented, right? I know other artists who are way less popping than me that are way more talented, right?
And what makes someone more talented than somebody else? For you, what
Like,
do you notice different?
like for example, if they can sing really well and they can rap, you know what I'm
Okay,
saying? I
yeah,
can't sing. I can do melodies here and there, but like I can't sing, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Um, and they're great songwriters. Um, but there's just a lot of moving parts to being an artist, and like there's the branding, there's what do you stand for? It's a lot of other things that artists fail to see because they're just so focused on this on making the songs, which is great, but there's just so many different parts to it. It's you know, uh and maybe they're just not trying hard enough.
Mhm.
There is that too.
Yeah. And that makes sense, right? You always hear that, right? Hard work beats talent.
Yeah.
That's why you see a lot of people, for example, in high school, let's say football or sports, you see the kid that's like the star in high school, but he's so talented that he could go party, he could go mess around, he could go sleep around with the chicks, doesn't matter. But what ends up happening, right, is like when life gets real, it's like that's not going to take you to the pros.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
absolutely.
the person who's maybe not as talented, but is working every day, practicing, learning, all that, they make it.
Yeah,
So I totally agree with you
absolutely.
with that. What did you have to do? Because sometimes people think maybe Gremlin made it overnight.
Mhm.
Because we think that, right, with people,
Yeah.
or maybe he had a lot of money. He grew up in a lot of money.
I got that too. I got that. Like
Mhm.
people telling me that as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Maybe he grew up with a lot of money, so that's why he was able to fund everything.
Mhm.
Right?
Yep.
Or maybe someone in his family was a famous rapper. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Maybe like Snoop Dogg was his cousin, whatever.
Yep. I
People think
understand.
that, right?
Mhm.
One, did you come from money?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Two, is your cousin Snoop Dogg? Right?
I wish, dude. This thing would be a lot easier.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like you said, you're not the most talented, but you
Yeah.
worked hard. So what helped you, and how many years did it take for you to actually get that, like, holy crap, like I think I'm gonna make it? Like, how many years from you
Well,
started till then?
when you say make it, because I'm nowhere near in my head making it,
I-
right?
I-
You mean like living off of music, right?
Let's go with this living off of music. How about that?
Okay.
From when you started to how many years did it take to live off of music?
Fuck, 10?
So 10 years.
Probably 10, 12,
Okay.
something like that. Like when I put out my first song to when I started making
Yeah.
good money, like 10 years.
Okay, so
and that's like you know, you hear it all the time with people starting businesses, started companies. It's like, yo, I didn't make that much money till like the 10th year or something like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like, it really does take time to figure shit out. You know what I'm saying? If I had a mentor early on, like, it would have expedited this whole process, right? But I didn't have anybody, until I got my mentor years later. But he helped a lot as well. Obviously we talked about that.
If you were to guess, and I'm sure that this is just a guess, let's just say you had your mentor from day one. How, do you think it would have took 5 years maybe to live off music, or what do you think if you're just a guess?
Like 2.
Wow, because it could really speed up that much
Oh
more.
yeah,
Okay.
bro. Having a mentor can collapses time, bro. It's like they
Okay.
help so much. Yeah. Once I started learning from him and like things, it took like 2 years, maybe a little bit less.
And this mentor that you had, was he somebody in the music industry, or is it more just?
Great question. No, he was just a man. He's now my uncle. He's married to my aunt.
Yeah.
But he was just a man that I admired because he had his own company. He dreamed big, and I'm like, dude, like this guy is absolutely incredible. So I just like, yo, can I like drive you around? Can I just learn from you? This and that. And at first he was like a little iffy, but we developed a relationship. And I love the guy. I love the guy to death.
So the mindset really.
No, it was the mindset.
The mindset of this guy that you admire, that's living big, dreaming, whatever it is. So you took that mindset and applied it to your music.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. And that's cool though, right? But again, too, I admire the fact that you didn't give up after 10 years. Most people give up the first year because I think sometimes we think, right? We think, I have this idea, I'm going to do music, or I'm going to explore my creativity, and if I don't make it in a year, that means it's not going to work.
Yeah,
I think sometimes we think that, right? We try to speed up the process.
For sure.
What was it for you that you leaned on, let's say before your mentor, right? What did you lean on to really just not give up on your craft? Like, what would you have to, because I'm sure there's days.
Yeah, absolutely. Like where you just don't want to do it, or like,
or nothing's working.
Yeah. If I had to say it, what it was that kept me going, it was, well, one, I love making music, but also my mom, because I'm like, I always had the dream of like getting her like a house or some shit, and I'm like, there's no other way I can really do that except with music, because I'm not good at anything else. And you know that. I'm not good at anything else except fucking music. Except freaking music, sorry. And
hey, you're a good driver though, man. Right?
Dude, I drive so slow.
That's why.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I remember I used to drive him, and he's like, dude, get in the damn carpool. And I'm like, okay, damn, because I'm always in the slow lane, right? I forget what we were talking about, but yeah.
Yeah, I was asking you, like, what did you lean on the hard days to get you through that?
My mom, and I just loved making music, and I had the vision. It was always there. I just, didn't know how to get there.
Yeah. Did you have to kind of I'm sure you learned too, like, did you have to be very careful with like who you shared your dream with? So you don't have somebody saying like, you're not going to do that, Gremlin, come on, man. Or be careful with who you surround yourself with, because they're kind of like more negative, bringing you down.
Oh, for sure, bro. I mean, that's something that my mentor at the time was teaching me as well. He's like, dream really big, but don't tell it to everybody, because they're going to try to shut it down because they can't do it, right? One of the people, I mean, I hate to say it, was my dad. He knew I loved making music. And then when I was turning 25 or 26 or something, he was like, hey, you're getting up there in age, man. You should probably stop making music and like go get like a job or some shit, and like in my head I'm like, dude, I can't, dude, like, I have to keep going. And then around that same time is when I met my mentor, and then he started teaching me things. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go give it everything I got.
Yeah, it's amazing how like in your story, right, you were blessed to have that mentor in your life.
Yeah, for sure.
Who knows if you never came in, if you would have,
bro, I don't want to know who I would have became because it wouldn't have been good.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what trajectory I was going, but that dude definitely saved my life for sure.
Yeah. And I think people need to understand that too, right? Because a lot of times people don't try to tear you down or break down your dreams on purpose or with bad intention. It's just usually they probably tried something in the past that didn't work, and they put their own insecurities and their own failures on you.
Yeah.
Or they think they're helping us because they mean good, but sometimes it can distract us from our,
for sure, bro,
what we want to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. So definitely was careful about who I share with, and I still am. I have big ideas right now that I still don't share with people. Just because they sound kind of crazy, but even to me, but like I have to do it. One day.
That's incredible. So for like you, where do you kind of like find your where do you go to get like what's that word? Where do you go to get
Inspiration?
inspiration, like when you're trying to write music and stuff like that? Because you know, I remember Eminem said it, or funny, or Lil Wayne, right? Where they come up with something like, "Wait, have I already done that before?"
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then they
yeah.
find it. Like, where do you draw that inspiration to continue to write music to keep it different from what you've done already? Because you've done so much music. Like,
Mhm.
what does that process look like for you?
Yeah, last year I made a song called God's Gift. And before I made that song, I was at a place where I didn't enjoy creating music anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Because
Um,
that's like right when we met. I
yeah, it,
remember.
it, wa-
Yeah.
it, it was around that time, and I was falling out of love with making music.
What was it that was causing that?
Um, I was pigeonholed into making, which it's of my own doing, of making just very sad music, right? And I think one, it was either manifesting, or two, um, I was scared to lean into other things because I'm like, everyone just knows me for this, for making sad music.
And
That's all I was known for.
and that's what was working for you, obviously too.
That was working for me, and it stopped working.
Oh, it did.
It stopped working,
Okay.
and so it was a lot of different things. But I'm like, you know, I'm gonna make this song called God's Gift. I'm just gonna let's just see what happens. And I'm gonna put God in it. I don't really do that often. That's after making that, it did something to me where I'm like, oh man, I never want to make music that's not like this. You know what I'm saying? Like it lit a fire in me that I haven't felt in years. So ever since then, I start talking more about God and things like that,
Mhm.
and it brings me a lot of joy. Talking about that.
And what do you think it was? Was it the God concept? Was it the style of it? Was it like, what do you think it was?
I was having fun.
Fun.
I get to be a little bit aggressive in my raps. I get to be a lot of show my talent with like lyricism. Because
Yeah.
with sad music you don't really do that. But like I can be aggressive. I can, tell my story in a creative way. I love
Mhm.
how it's helping people.
Yeah.
And mind you, I still do make sad music. I just dropped Broken Soul.
Yeah.
Which I know you love that
That's my
song,
favorite
right?
song.
What's funny is from in for the past like 5 months or like 6 months, or like there was a certain time period earlier this year where I was in a really weird place where like I just I didn't know what to do. It was like, just like what's the word I'm looking for? In a stalemate? Is that the word I'm looking
Something
for?
like that. Yeah.
Something like that, where like,
Yeah.
and then I had a therapy session with my therapist, obviously, and we were getting deep in things, and then I was like, man, I don't know why I'm feeling this way. Just out of it. I just don't feel right. I go home, I play this instrumental, and I start walking my dog, and I'm just listening to it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit down and just write. I write the song in 2 hours, which I've never done in my life. Okay, just flowed out of me. Sang it, or I did it like in the microphone. Broke down as soon as I heard it back. I'm like, dude, this is what I've been feeling. This is it. And I just encapsulated that in the song.
Mhm.
And I don't express myself. I don't really write often to get emotions out. Not anymore, really. It's more to like tell stories.
Okay.
That one was, I put everything into that. I put my heart in.
Is this for
into that
Broken
thing.
Souls? Okay.
That's for Broken Soul. Yeah. That one, I definitely put my heart into that
Yeah.
for sure. You know what I'm saying? So I still do like making sad music from time to time.
Yeah, and it's a great song. You know what I mean? I think because your music is about connecting with people. Everything you share, right?
Mhm.
It's like it's stuff that you would hear a therapist break down to you why you do what you do, or what we go through and why we feel the way that we feel. And I think that's a cool thing because it connects with people.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
And yeah, and that new song that you wrote, man, and you guys gotta check it out. It's Broken Souls. It gives me goosebumps.
Yeah,
in a weird way, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I probably have the world record for listening to that song the most because I got ADHD. So when I find something new that I like, I'll listen to it. I'm not even joking. Like 100 times a day. Like weirdly. Like even my girl.
Thank you for the streams, brother. I appreciate it.
Those streams are for me.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate that, and I did have a feeling you would like it as well.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, I love that. Yeah, I think it's cool, right? Okay, so you're getting this inspiration now because you're talking about God, you're getting able to express yourself even more and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we're seeing the human side of you, right? Too. Like, hey, you still get these moments that I feel stuck. I don't know where am I going, or I can only imagine. You create a style of music that's working, and if it's working, how do you shift from that? Or if it's not working, and you're like, damn, well. You know what I mean? Like, what do I do from this?
Bro, some people continue to to do it, and then and they don't grow. But in those moments, it's like, okay, it's time to grow. It's time to grow in music. It's time to just grow as a person. And I really seen this past year making these type of songs. It's growth. It's if you listen to myself in the past to now, it's like definitely a lot
Yeah.
more mature.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, some people get stuck in making that same style. It is very hard to transition. Sometimes it is for an artist. It is extremely difficult.
What is it usually? Is it more of like a fear of what's going to happen, or maybe they don't have the ability?
It might be even the ability.
Yeah.
Like I know artists who just only make sad music. That's it. They don't steer away from that, right? But so much so that even if they do a little bit, their audience doesn't like it because they're like, we only know you as this. So then they continue to stay in that lane, but it's not working. You know what I'm saying? But they know, and they don't want to try other things, which I understand because the audience probably won't be as receptive. And yeah.
How do you shift that? Let's just say that, let's say, I mean, I'm sure there's two ways, right? Either somebody comes up just playing for what's going to work, right? Which then maybe they lose their identity in that.
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody's actually being who they really are and it works, right? Which is great. But now they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go a different direction. But then, like you said, the fans don't like it.
Correct.
How do you navigate that? Do you just accept the fact that you maybe lose a lot of fan base because it's better for you to create from a place of where I'm happy, not just because the fans are happy? Like, what is that like for artists?
Sometimes it works for people like when you see big artists like J. Cole, right, or things like that. The kind of music he's making now isn't like how he made back in the day, but he still has his core base that follows him regardless of the music he makes, right? But it is very, very difficult to do because you do want to please the fans, but at what cost? You know what I'm saying? Like you lose some of and it's like, I think that's probably where I was, and before I made God's Gift, where I'm like, dude, I'm just so sick of making sad music, like I don't want to do this anymore, and I don't want to just talk about this, But luckily, they've been very receptive.
Because that video did well. It did really well. It did really well. It's over 1 million, right?
Well. Yeah,
on
over
YouTube.
1 million on YouTube. On everything, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So thankfully, I found a route that works for me, and this is working.
Yeah. What do you think? Like, what helps you like stay like consistent long term? Because it's been how many years have you been doing music now?
Since like I put out my first song in like 2011.
What do you do to kind of make sure that you always remember to like, I always got to make sure that I'm doing my music no matter what happens in your life, no matter what newness, because like I know, like for me, it's like I see it in my life right now, right, trying to grow a YouTube channel where it's like, dude, like, well, I got sick, I got distracted, or I was going on these vacations and now I'm not creating, like it's getting annoying, or this person screwed me over, life is happening, or doubt, all these things are kicking in, right? Years go by, and it's like, what helps you be like, no matter what, I'm sure you get distracted, but no matter what, I got to remember what the mission is.
That's a good question. How do I stay focused? Well, I go through things, heartbreaks, I have moments of being depressed, things like that. Moments, right?
Yeah.
I never let it stay. I guess I would say I write it. I that's the way I express myself, right? Is like writing about it and knowing that I have to keep going. Like there's a world full of people that my music can help, and it's like I have to show them, I have to get to where I'm going. I have to buy my mom her home someday, I guess I tie it to things that people that I love, right? So it's like you'll do more for others than you will yourself, right? If I'll do a lot more for my mom than, like, for example, when I rap in public, right? Like when I go up to people, like I used to do this thing called nerd raps where like I walk to random people, right? I was terrified, bro. And that's not something I do. Like I'm terrified. Like my social anxiety was through the roof, bro. Through the roof.
Yeah.
Right? But in my head, the only thing playing in my head was like, get your mom that house that one day. Or get your mom that house that one day. Get your mom that house. And it just kept playing in my head. And I'm like, okay, cool. I got this. If that wasn't in my head, I probably wouldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was freaking out, bro. Like That's not something I'm good with, you know. I know it probably seems like it, but no, that freaks me the hell out. So I would say the people I love, you know.
I love that. Yeah, dude. I think I think another thing too, as it is a big thing, right? I think we have these goals, but sometimes these goals, hey, it's a journey. It's
Yeah.
gonna take longer than you think. It doesn't mean it's not gonna work, but you got to have the ability to try to stay focused long term. And I
Yeah.
think sometimes that could be hard.
Oh, for sure,
See that a
bro.
lot of people.
For sure.
Really, the only problem is you keep on getting distracted.
Yeah.
You know, another thing I want to touch on too is because you said you didn't come from money, so maybe we have some listeners that want to be a musician, but you know their excuse is
I don't have money.
I don't have money. How am I going to pay for, you know, my studio time? How am I going to pay for music videos? Da 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 da. Like, what was your game plan? What did you have to do to make sure that you can have money to be able to fund that stuff in the beginning?
You gotta be resourceful, you know. You record yourself rather than getting a studio, right?
When you say that, like, as in, like, just get like buy a mic,
Yeah, buy a mic, record yourself,
use
make it work.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 different ways to approach this. Try every single one until it works. What worked for me, what helped jumpstart the career was this thing called Uber Raps, right? And that's a very creative thing to do, right? And that was one of the 1,000 ways that I could have done this, right? I would have done 1,000 different things, but if this one thing works, stick with it, right? This thing worked for me, and I built a career off of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's
And that was you being resourceful, right?
and that was me being resourceful.
Yeah.
I'm rapping as an Uber, you know. That's not something people do, but it's like think outside the box, try different things. You know, there's always a way to make this work, but do you just have the willpower to fight through your battles and find it? You know what I'm saying? Like there is always a way. There always is.
And you were working at a movie theater?
I worked at a movie theater, and then I started to become a driver for my mentor.
Yeah.
And then that's around the same time that everything started, like, you know, taking off. And also after the Tony Robbins event I went to in 2017, that's when I had my first viral moment after that, and was on the news and all that stuff. So also things that that help you do the work.
Because the viral moment was with the song that you wrote about your mom, right?
Yeah. So after the Tony Robbins event,
and you just put that on YouTube, right?
I just
it went viral on YouTube.
No, it went viral on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Yeah. So after Tony Robbins, he was, you know, he's an amazing person, and he's saying, like, you know, tell your story. And then my mentor OP is like, yo, tell the story about your mom. And I'm like, all right, bet. So a few months later, you know, I made the song, put it out, and you know, I got on the cover of the biggest newspaper in Orange County. I got on Fox 11, and you know what's funny? I'm not sure if I ever said this, but when I say being resourceful, I only got on those things on the cover, and I got on Fox 11 because of the work I did of being resourceful. So after the song dropped, it went viral. I started reaching out to every newspaper in Orange County, and I'm like, hey, my song's going viral about my mom. Something you want to do with this? Da da da. That's me reaching out to every every newspaper, right? And a few hit me back. The Orange County Register reached back out. They sent a reporter, and, you know, they got our story. And then from there, we made front page like the next week. And then some lady from Fox 11 seen that newspaper and said, yo, we love your story. Let's pick it up. And that all happened from being resourceful, right? Not having a PR team, not having none of this. I did the work that a PR person or that they would do. You know what I'm saying?
And how did you get that idea to hit up the newspapers?
You know, I don't know. I think I just ran like, you know what? Let me just see if this works.
Yeah.
And because, like, there's always a way. If I want something, I have to. There's a way.
Yeah.
I will go to the damn building if I have to and be like, yo, I got a cool story for you guys. You know what I'm saying? I just randomly had the thought, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just see what happens. You know, and it works, thankfully.
What did you find? Just like an email, and you're just emailing?
Yeah, if you go on any newspaper site, they have editors, and they have like health and this and that. So I got all their emails and blasted every single one. Yeah, so I went absolutely insane.
And that's the power of, like, seek and you shall find, knock on the door in the line. You just never know.
You never know, bro. I would have missed so much if I wouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? Like, which, you know, sometimes I feel like now I've gotten comfortable to the point where I don't want to do that, but who knows what could happen again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's like a balance, right, of like forcing something and then also just like asking.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Are you forcing it, or you just ask? Sometimes you just got to ask.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't know
Yeah.
who you are or what you need.
Yeah.
I've had scenarios like that too, because sometimes I'm like that too. Should I reach out to them? It's probably better if they reach out to me, because at least I know they want me. And,
Yeah, I battle with that as well.
You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
see some work like that, right? Don't get me wrong. When they reach out to us first, don't get me wrong, it's probably the most powerful, because like they're already like, oh, you already want me.
Yeah.
So it's already like, oh, we're so excited. Da, da, da. We don't have to sell ourselves.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when you reach out, it's kind of like, okay, what do I write exactly? What's
Exactly.
too much? What's not enough? I'm sure they get these all the time. I don't want to like I'm desperate.
Yep.
But then sometimes you reach out to them, they're like, oh, no way, it's amazing. We would love to have
Yeah.
you. It's like,
Exactly.
cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely doing things like that
Yeah.
works. And
That's good.
I gotta remind myself that sometimes.
Yeah, and that's good though, because I think sometimes people maybe think that everything that happens, you have to just throw it out there and let it come to you, which it does a lot. But sometimes like, no, sometimes you got to ask. Sometimes
Yeah,
you got to
for
put your
sure.
foot out, be resourceful. Like, and I love that, because I think a lot of people, we make too many excuses. We can all make them.
Mhm.
I don't know anybody. I don't have this and that. It's like, I've done stuff where I'm like, hey, I helped. I'm really good at listening. So I listen to people, and I didn't know that by listening to people, they're grateful for that. And then guess what? Oh, one guy's a videographer. I'll film your video for free. Really? Dude,
Exactly.
yeah,
You're really good at that.
yeah.
You're really good
You
at
see
that.
me do that, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm like, man, I need a venue. Oh, hold on, I need to call. Hey, oh, Foster, we got you. Oh, how do you know that
Exactly.
person? Oh, I used to work there, and I helped out a lot. Oh, what's this person? Oh, yeah, I used to do some fundraisers for them. So yeah,
That is very impressive, by the way. It's a good trait to have.
Yeah. Relationships is everything.
Yeah.
For you, something that was big too, and I want to talk on is like, a lot of times people have your childhood story,
Mhm.
but they go the route that I went,
Mhm.
which I came out the other side, right? Where we become drug addicts, we become alcoholics, we become people who destroy our life, don't work, don't go to school, don't do anything with our lives, right? We're just so angry, we blow up, and we
Mhm.
become the problem again.
Yep.
Someone like you, where you have a similar childhood where there's trauma in it, why do you think for you, you didn't become the drug addict? You kind of took that route and chased more of a craft success. Like, why do you think for you, what did you do?
Well, one, I didn't want to be like my family, right? Like, I didn't want to be in addiction. I've seen what it does, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, no, there's no way. So early on, I developed a vision for um being a famous rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quote unquote, but using the money to send like my family to like rehabs and
Rehab,
stuff
yeah.
like that, right? That's what really kept me going and staying sober. But also my dad, because they weren't together
Mm-hmm.
my whole life. Like since I was born, they were never together. But he also had a very stern hand. He kept me very level headed. And that kind of fear is good, to have. It was a little much, but
Yeah.
but I am thankful for that,
Yeah.
because who knows what I would have done without that,
Yeah.
So definitely some willpower, but also and the vision, but my dad as well.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever kind of like find yourself going the wrong path at some points? Like, do you ever see like it's in you at times, maybe early on, or do you kind of like see yourself now, even like, man, I can see how I can still go off that wrong path because of what we go through as a kid. It still affects us, whether it's insecurity, it's not good
Yeah.
enough, whatever it is, and sometimes you just want to escape that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, oh, I hate this thing that I have to like that.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of, bro, the main thing I could think of is probably alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that is probably the only thing that I could think of that it hasn't destroyed me. Obviously,
Yeah.
I'm fine, but it's definitely a vice for me.
Yeah.
And something that it's kind of hard to stop completely.
Yeah.
But probably that.
And do you see yourself picking it up out of boredom? Do you see it picking yourself out of because there's like this that thing inside of you, whether it's anxiety, anxiousness, like this, nothing's ever enough, like this is annoying, like I just, and since you drink, it's like a, I just gotta chill.
You know what's funny is that I remember we had this conversation when we first started hanging out, and I was like, "Do you think I drink a lot because I'm running away for something, or do you think I just like to do it, or like I have like things going on, or do you think I just like to do it?" It's like, and then I remember you saying, "No, you're definitely dealing with something," and in my head, I'm like, "Me? I don't just like it." You know what I'm saying? Can't someone just like it? And then come to find out, going to therapy and this and that I just since I was a kid, I have really bad anxiety. Like it's high. Like I remember my first panic attack was like at 7, you know. So I have anxiety. I've had trouble sleeping since I was a kid, you know. And it helps me sleep.
Yeah.
You know, it shuts off my mind, and I can sleep. Um it's in those things because I don't. So sometimes I get like night terrors,
Mm.
not night terrors, but nightmares that just aren't good. So sometimes when I don't have it, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to have any nightmares. So like, I'm gonna go get a bottle. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's like that. You know,
And
I don't think I've ever said that out loud.
I know that's why this podcast doesn't go viral, guys. Right?
Oh
well, no, but I
God.
appreciate your vulnerability because it's relatable. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just like we all go to, and I think a lot of people think about Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix, Amy Winehouse. What's the other one? Miller. What's his name? Mac Miller.
Mac Miller.
You see these artists, and people are like, "Well, what's going on?" It's like, well, creativity comes from sensitivity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of artists. Remember, artists isn't just music; it could be other stuff, right?
Yeah.
What do we usually grab that from? It's from pain.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what it is. That's how we're able to kind of express this emotion. It's like, man, so I feel it, yeah, because they feel it too. So
Yeah,
I
that's a good
think
way of putting it.
and I think a lot of times it's safe to talk about those things, right? Because there's a battle behind the scenes that people don't see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That we go through. Most of us creative people weren't sometimes the most popular,
Absolutely
cool
not,
kids.
dude.
Maybe.
Absolutely not,
I
bruh.
love Post Malone when Theo Von asked him. He's like, "Were all the chicks after you in high school?" He goes, "Hell no, no one talked to me, man."
No one, bro. Oh
And he
my
goes, "I was a
God,
weirdo."
bro.
And then he's like, "Now it's a weird, like he's like fame really does do something to you. It makes people
For
think you're
sure.
hot or something."
Yeah, for sure,
know?
bro. Yeah, no, I definitely took advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? In my younger years, not
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
not now. Now I
know?
need a wife.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
guys, if you know any single ladies out there,
Boom, send them my way, please.
Grem is single.
Let's
We're gonna be
go.
doing like Love is Blind, but we're gonna call it Gremlin is Blind.
Oh, God.
Oh, hey, that's actually a good
God.
idea, dude.
It's not bad, dude. It's not bad.
I'll be the host. You know, the people that come in. All right, guys. So today on round 1.
Everyone pops their balloons on me. Oh,
Yeah.
come on. Not one. Oh, God.
man.
Good stuff.
Another thing I want to talk on too is you got baptized
Yes,
not
sir.
too long ago, right? What was it? It was this year, right?
It was this year, yeah.
Yeah, this year. Which I had the honor to baptize you.
Yes, sir.
So for you, God's gift, you have that song come out. You're really talking about God now. You're feeling this fire light under you again, right? The passion.
Yep.
You've had songs like God's Gift 2. You have War with the Devil 1 and 2, right? You're talking more of God and stuff like that. For you, what was it about? Why did you decide, you know what? I think I want to get baptized now. What was the story behind it?
You know, so you remember when I told you earlier that I wrote sad songs and they started to like manifest
Yeah.
a little bit more, right? Like just if I didn't pull from a memory or something, it just manifested, right? So after God's Gift, I dedicated the whole year to not cuss on my records and talk about God because of my grandmother. My grandmother was a big believer in God, and she always said, your music would be so much better if you didn't cuss, right? So I dedicated that whole year. Thing is, I love making songs like that, right? And the more I wrote songs like that, the closer I felt to God, right? And it started to like manifest into things in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Like how the sadness manifests in this. This was like drawing me closer to God, bringing me friendships that were, like that, they God-fearing men, and I was like, man, I never done it. And I'm like, I think it's time, and I still have a lot of work to do, right? Don't get me wrong. I still have a lot of things I need to fix, you know what I'm saying? Especially. But it's something I've wanted to do, and and I think the video inspired a lot of people, the baptism video.
It got a lot of views.
It got a lot of views, bro. Like I was like, dang, I'm just gonna put out content like this from now on. We're talking about just walking around, you know what I'm saying, dude?
Get baptized again. Just get baptized in all these extreme weathers and extreme places.
Bro,
hey guys,
that's an idea, dude.
We're gonna baptize. It's negative 20 degrees. We're gonna baptize.
Oh God. That's a good idea, bro.
Right.
I like that.
Much.
I like that. I like that.
No, I love that though. How you were honoring your grandma, because she did pass, and you said
Yep.
you were close to her because obviously you're sorry with your mom and all that stuff. So your
Yeah.
grandma you were close with, and to
Yeah.
honor her. And I love what you said. Right? It's like, and the more I did music with God, the more connected I felt with God.
Yeah.
For you, why do you feel it's important for you to have this connection with God?
Well, I want to say I kind of always did. But there was a moment, a period in my life, where I wasn't in my early 20s. I think I wasn't too connected with God, but it got to a point where it's like, dang, everything good in my life happens with prayer, happens when I talk to Him, and things like that. And now I live my life like, someone's always watching me, which is a good way to live,
Yeah.
because it's like you don't do dumb things,
Yeah.
you don't litter, you
Yeah.
you do good things for people,
Right. Or if you do something dumb, you feel bad.
Exactly,
Right? You're like, oh,
exactly,
dude, I'm so sorry.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like even if I drop a piece of paper, I'm like, oh damn, I gotta get that, But
Yeah.
it definitely could make you a better person, and I think I'm definitely a lot better than where I was last year. I think mentally,
Mhm.
yeah.
I think so too. I've seen you.
Yeah.
You're more open and stuff like that. I mean, like you said earlier, you go to therapy.
Yeah,
Which,
it's been a year this month
yeah.
since I started going.
And let me ask you that, because I think sometimes as men, right? Sometimes it's hard for men to go to therapy. It's
Yeah.
men don't go to therapy, don't talk, don't trust, don't feel. Get over it. You don't need that. Maybe even in maybe even in the creative world, who knows? I don't know how many artists are open about it. I know some are. Um, what are the benefits that you've noticed in your own personal life by going to therapy for you, and how have you seen that, if it has, which I believe it has, benefited your craft and music?
Well, it helps put a mirror to my face, and be like, you have these things to work on, you have attachment issues, where you detach from everything,
Mhm.
like I was just talking to you
Yeah.
about it. And knowing more about myself allows me to express that now in music. So
Yeah.
I can talk about being detached, right? Looking back on it, I always kind of wrote about it, but
Yeah.
I thought I was just writing. I didn't realize that I was really feeling this, and I really had this issue, like
Yeah.
abandonment issues or whatever.
Yeah.
But I come to find out, I do. So it definitely helps me get to know myself better, and the more I know myself, the more I can write about myself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And hopefully, more people connect, and they can gain a little bit of understanding of themselves through my music.
Mhm. No, I love that. Yeah, I think it's therapy. All it's going to do is benefit us, right? It's going to
Yep.
put a mirror to our face. We're going to kind of see ourselves, what we need to work on, but also what we're good at. And then when you understand it, you can put dialogue to it. Then you can communicate it, right? So you're
Yeah,
going to communicate
absolutely.
it through your
Absolutely.
music
Absolutely. Yeah.
to people. If
Yeah.
anything, you're going to impact more lives because now your music's going to hit even deeper.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
There's a verbiage to it.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think I would have written Broken Soul without therapy. So
Yeah,
thank God for that.
that's huge, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's huge. Yeah, something I love about you too is like I love how you bring your fans, like you have a core group of fans that you kind of stick with, and you bring them to every music video shoot with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And you invite them to,
They're incredible. Yeah.
the movie premiere or the music video premieres,
I'm at my crib.
your
Yeah.
crib,
Yep.
Buffalo Wild Wings. You've done
The
stuff
best
like
place on earth.
that. All you can eat wings. It's all on Gremlin, right?
Yeah.
That's the best part. Huh?
Exactly. That's why everyone gets whatever.
What started that? Like, was that like a planned thing? Like, I want to have my fans in my music videos. Did it kind of just happen from trying it out? And why do you find that important for you to continue to do that? Kind of keep that formula of like,
Yeah. I think they're a lot more than they were fans in the beginning, but
Yeah.
now like they're
like family.
they're like family. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? In the beginning, I just needed some people for a shoot, God's gift specifically,
Yeah.
and I got way more people than I needed. But through that, I kept a group chat of the people who wanted to go, and then it slowly we started to like do more shoots with them, and I'm like, yo, they're actually like really cool people. Had to kick a few people out, but
It happens.
But nah, I mean, I can use them for music videos, and they love being a part of it. It's
Yeah.
and we create art together.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I do shoots, like I need more people, so then I put it out like on Instagram or something. But yeah, it's always good to have them in the corner like that. That just happened by accident. I
Yeah.
didn't try to make that happen, but it just did.
I think it's cool too, man, because I
Yeah.
see how well, you got to think about it, right? I think people see us differently than we see ourselves.
Yes. Yeah. I'm realizing that.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So some people, especially when you become somebody, let's just say, right? They may see you as this amazing person, and so when you just respond to them like, "Hey, how's it going?" He just asked me how I'm doing.
Mm.
That's just how it is. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's just how it
Mm.
is, and I think it's cool that I can only imagine being them to be like, "Wow, dude, someone that we love their music, I got to be in a music video, and he literally put me in a group chat and literally invites me to all these music video shoots, and
Yeah.
then takes us out to eat."
Yeah.
Like this must to them, it's probably like a dream come true.
Mm.
I mean, I see the way they talk about you when I'm talking with them, how grateful they are. You know what I mean? So I think it's cool that you've created that
Yeah.
for them.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And I'm gonna make it bigger soon.
Yeah.
But those are the core people. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Those are the core people that I need for the videos and stuff. But yeah, they're incredible.
Yeah.
They're incredible.
I love that. And I think that's what makes you do well in life with like your I think I heard somebody say too, man, I don't know anybody besides Gremlin that crushes it when it comes to selling merch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's like, well, yeah, dude, like he loves his people. They're family. They're not just fans, they're family.
Mhm.
So because he's loyal to his family, the family's loyal to him.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I think a lot of people can take notice of that when they're trying to build a fan base. Is you got to remember, make it about the fans. Go out of your way. Kind of find ways to be creative and do things,
Yep.
right? Because you can't be there for everybody.
Yeah.
How do you kind of find that balance of like giving your time to the people versus giving time to yourself? Because I know you probably want to, and I know you do well. You respond to everybody usually for the most part. I see you when music videos come out and all
Yeah.
that. How do you kind of balance that out where someone doesn't burn out, where I have to respond to everybody. I got to do every single DM. I got to, because if not, then they're going to hate me and I'm not a good person.
Yeah. In the beginning, it was like 5-6 years ago. I was responding to every single message, every single one. It was a lot. It was every single message, every single one. At this point, I don't do that. I respond to a lot of messages.
You do, yeah.
But it's just a lot, bro, and it's like I can't respond to everyone, But I do my best. But yeah, it's a little much for me to respond to everybody at this point. It's
especially if they respond back to your response.
Exactly, bro. Here's the thing, I'm not good with texting, even family. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I know they're probably like, damn, he takes forever to respond, but it's like, dude, I'm so that's just how I. You know that. That's just how I am. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why, but it's like, don't take it personal. I don't respond to family too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I try not to let it get to me.
Yeah.
No,
that's good. I think sometimes we got to understand, like, we have to take care of us first so we could take care of others.
Yep.
And we can't take care of everybody, and that's okay. You know what I mean? How do you deal with haters? How do you deal with that? Because you're putting your personal story, you're putting your craft out there. You're making funny videos, you're trying different stuff. How do you kind of navigate that where you suck, your music's crap, you're short, whatever they're saying to you? How do you like navigate that so you don't let it get to you?
What's funny is that in videos, I guess I look like normal height. Because every time people see me, they're like, "Damn, you're a lot shorter than I thought you'd be."
We should do that. Ask people that have never met you. Hey, how tall do you think Gremlin is?
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
6'3".
You know what I'm saying? And then with me, they're like, "Oh, damn, you're a lot shorter than I thought." I'm like, "Yeah, that's my life story." But the thing is that like that's not even an insecurity at all. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Like I really don't.
Yeah.
I have other ones, but not that. But when it comes, I see artists getting upset when people comment things like that.
Yeah.
I personally don't care. Like I get comments on Facebook a lot of people saying like, this sucks, garbage, kill yourself. But it's like
I don't get that.
I get that too. Yeah. But it's like I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like I just block them or I just keep scrolling. I'm like, I'll let them comment and get some more comments because my people respond to them. So it's like this chain. They're like backing me up. So I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Keep it going. You know what I'm saying? But that's not something that really ever bothered me.
What would you tell somebody that if it does bother them? Like, what kind of advice would you give them? Because some people are more sensitive than others.
Yeah, I would say, you know what? I hate to say it, but get thicker skin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing I can think of, because people, there's always going to be people that talk down on you. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, I am pretty detached. So it's pretty easy for me, but
your trauma's protecting you.
exactly, my trauma's protecting me. But I would just say try to ignore them or just get some thicker skin or something. I mean, that's probably the best option, honestly.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's good. Yeah, and you need that.
For sure, bro.
anyone
For sure.
that's trying to put themselves out there, you got to have thick skin in the game, because I've learned some people just go in there to talk shit on everybody. That's it. Like, they don't have to know you. They don't have to probably even listen to your music. They just say you suck.
Yeah.
And so you got to learn to kind of just like see it for what it is. Let your people defend you.
Yeah.
Don't feed into it.
Yeah.
Don't try to
absolutely.
defend yourself.
Absolutely.
Because that's what's going to make you spiral.
Dude, 100%.
You know, and stuff like that.
You're spot on. By the way, random cut. I need to take a piss. I've been holding it in forever.
Go for it.
Am I allowed to?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Where's the restroom?
It's gonna be out the door you came in. Okay. Make a right. So you're gonna go out. You're gonna go out the main door out here. You're gonna make a right and then make a left, and the bathroom's right there. We got Gremlin going to the bathroom. Yeah, go out the main door. Yeah. And then make a right, then make a left. All right, Graham. Oh, perfect. I thought you locked it, so I was gonna give you the code.
I did lock it.
No, this one.
This.
Yeah, so you're good.
Sorry about that. I was holding it in forever.
We're gonna leave down the video, huh? His little timer.
God, okay.
Oh
All right.
gosh. All right. Yeah,
We're back.
Yep, it's focusing. We're good. Okay. Well, okay. Now, right here, what we're gonna get into is these are the last questions, right? They're speed questions. Answer them within a minute. We ask this to everybody. My first question to you is, what are 3 books that somebody could read that you would recommend that could completely change their life?
You think I read?
Oh, I know you read.
I'm just kidding. Let's see. 3 books. How to Win Friends and Influence People.
That's a good one.
48 Laws of Power.
Hmm.
And third, the 50 Laws of 50 Laws? It's a 50-cent book. I think it's called 50.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
50
about.
Laws or something like. Oh, the 50 Laws of Power. I don't remember exactly, but that one.
Okay.
That one's incredible.
For the 48 Laws of Power, how did you read that? for it to benefit you, because some prisons that book is banned because they don't want the prisoners to read that book and manipulate the guards. You know what I mean?
Oh, snap.
Because it could be used for obviously
Yeah,
evil,
yeah,
right?
for sure, for sure.
How do you read it in a positive way and utilized it?
I don't. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Oh my god.
When you study the successful artists, you can see that they're doing what that book teaches, right? Or like
Interesting.
they use different things. I use like little things from it. Like one of them is like if you go to a place often, right? Pull away, and then that's gonna draw like
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact word.
It makes you more you're less desired when you're always there, type of thing.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm never anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And then, but when I'm there, I'm just, they love it,
Yeah.
So if you're in a space or something, often pull away, and then you'll be more desired or something
Yeah.
like that. I don't remember exactly, but
Mhm.
it's a good read. I personally love it.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of good stuff that you can use
Yes.
in a positive, like that.
Yeah.
Just like that. So, but
People could use it for bad, like
Oh,
the
for
stuff,
sure.
the stuff they teach
more
you.
in a way to like control people. Like, I want this person to miss me.
Yeah.
Instead of using it as like, that's why you shouldn't perform at House of Blues 3 times a
Exactly.
year. What do you mean? Like, just do it once a year for one of your venues in Orange County or something.
Exactly.
Kind of like that,
Exactly.
right? 'Cause
Exactly
then
like that.
people won't show up to your shows after a while.
Boom. That's exactly
Okay.
it.
No, I love that. What was one mindset shift that completely changed your life?
Money grows on trees. Because our whole life we're told money doesn't grow on trees, which subconsciously makes us believe that there's not enough out there, and you live in a scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
Once he told me that, my mentor, I'm like, you're right, dude. Like, how long have I been living like this? That shift, that's not the actual saying money grows on trees,
Yeah.
but that shift in mentality changed everything. Changed everything completely.
So true. Yeah, my buddy always says they're printing out money every day, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, money's not the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
stop thinking that there's not enough money. You're not gonna. Yeah,
There's enough money.
Yeah.
There's enough money. Let's be very clear. There's enough
Yeah.
money out there for everybody.
Yeah.
For sure.
What was? I like this one. This one's a little bit different. What's the worst piece of advice someone's ever given to you?
Get a real job, probably.
Ooh.
Get a real job. Yeah, that was before I was doing anything, or like, my younger years. But
Yeah.
then, like, yeah, get a real job.
Yeah, I love that. Somebody was saying the other day, like, for people like that are trying to do something creative, something different, right? That's a little bit harder, whatever it is. Sometimes it's better to not have a plan B, because
Oh, for sure, bro. Burn the boats.
yeah.
There's that saying, "Burn the boats." Have you ever heard it?
No, what does that mean?
So basically, I forget what story it was, but this general or whatever got a bunch of his crew to go to this island to do some war, right?
Mhm.
He was like, we have to win. So they get to the island, and what do? Burn the boats. There's no going back. We have to go, and we have to win. There's no retreating. You have to go. Burn the boats. Just go. There's no
Yeah.
plan B. There's nothing. You burn the boats, and you go as hard as you possibly can.
Yeah, no, I love that, because it's like it almost like makes you go, I got to figure it out.
You
Why?
have to.
Because this is all I got. This is
You
all I'm
have
gonna go
to.
for. This is all I want.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna figure it out. And there's something about that, right? As humans, we can adapt.
100%, bro. 100%.
Think about it. People don't think they can, but it's like, think about certain situations
Yep.
that you've been in. You would figure it out because you have to. There's nothing else you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So I love that. Last question. Let's just say there's somebody, elevator. We always call it the elevator spill, right? You're in an elevator with somebody. Someone wants to be a musical artist, but they're feeling defeated, right? Like, I don't think I can do it, right? And this person is talented. You can see they got what it takes, right? But they don't think they got what it takes. If you had a minute with them, what would you want to tell them?
That they're talented, but they don't think they have what it takes.
So they're talented.
Mhm.
You see potential in them,
Mhm.
but they don't see potential in themselves. And you know this is a person like, oh, this person can make it. But they're
Mhm.
like, I can't make it. Negative beliefs, whatever. You have 1 minute with them to get them out of that hopelessness. What
Oh,
would you want to
geez.
tell them?
I probably. Oh, damn, that's a tough question, bro. I would say, well, why'd you start in the first place, right? What were you hoping to get? What are you hoping to do? And then I think I would ask their why, like, and then boil it down. It's probably going to be because of family or something. And And I'd be like, don't do it for yourself, then do it for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a whole family that's depending on you, you know? And you have no choice. You got to burn the boats and just go as hard as you possibly can for them, you know? It's not about you, you know? And like I said earlier, you'll always do more for others than you will yourself. So I probably say things along those lines. I know that wasn't the best answer, but that's all I can think of in the moment.
No, that was good. I think, yeah, right. Knowing your why and really figuring out what that is. And then, right, like always going back to that. And are you doing it for others is powerful.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Yeah.
really what it is. Passion is what we do for us. Purpose is what we do for others.
That's
And
really
when you
good.
can align your passion to help other people, perfect.
You win.
You
You
know?
win.
Well, where can people find you at?
Everywhere. Gremlin Raps is all my social media. So Spotify, Gremlin, YouTube, Gremlin Raps, all that good stuff. TikTok, Instagram, Gremlin Raps.
Yeah, guys. And December 5th,
Boom.
we're both going to be at Lifelines, which is a church at the Crossings in Newport, Costa Mesa area with Pastor Randy. Friday, December 5th, 7 p.m. He will be performing. I will be speaking.
Set your calendars.
So make sure that you're there. But I just want to say again, dude, thank you so much for coming out here, being here.
Absolutely, brother.
I deeply appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to share, your story with us and for our listeners, because you're doing something a lot of people want to do. You know what I mean? And you're proof that you don't need to come from money. You don't got to have connections growing up, and you don't have to be this confident, secure, perfect person, to live out your dreams, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It all came down to never giving up, remembering your why, and the mindset behind it that you learned from your mentor.
Boom. Mic drop. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
So he gave me a mic drop, guys. But yeah, buddy,
yes, sir.
I just want to say thank you for being here.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you for having me, man.
Cool.